What's up, everyone? Invisible Walls episode 156 is here, and oh my gosh, it is loaded with awesome games today. I think this is just the perfect storm of a week where we've gone to a ton of events, and finally embargoes are breaking. We have so much to talk about. I don't want to spend a lot of time jibber-jabbering. Here to do that today is Marcus Beer.
I'm going to jabber more than gibber.
Mike Damiani is here today.
What's up, everyone?
Patrick Morales is in the house.
Salutations.
And party people. Finally, after 156 episodes of Invisible Walls, we have a very, very special guest on the show today. Welcome to IW, Jeff Keighley.
What's up, Shane? Good to be here. I'm sorry it's taken me so long. I'm always traveling around shooting GTTV, so it's hard to coordinate schedules. But I saw you in the hall this morning, and I said, let's do Invisible Walls today. So
And you made it, yeah.
I'm excited
We've
to be
been trying
here.
to get this guy on for quite a while. Finally, he's here. Finally, I get to turn the tables on you for once.
That's true, because you're on our new bonus round that we're filming next week. It'll be
Well,
coming
usually
out
it's
soon,
you
so.
peppering me with questions on bonus round. This time I get to turn the tables. It's going to be an
Alright,
awesome show, everyone, so please stick around. Here we go.
Okay, look, we both said a lot of things that you're going to regret. But I think we can put our differences behind us. For science.
All right, folks. First up on the docket today, we're going to talk about Portal 2. Obviously, our review is up already, so you kind of know our perspective on that level. But everybody here pretty much has played it, or at least played a little bit of it. And I think we need some alternating opinions here. So, Jeff, you played it. You actually played it before I did. I had to rush through it over the weekend for review.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to play it actually a couple months ago up at Valve because I wrote a final hour story about the sort of making a Portal that's coming out on iPad this weekend actually, which will be cool. So yeah, I think it's one of the best games I played in recent memory. I mean, it's Valve, so I mean, whenever they bring out a game, they always push things in a new direction. I think Portal is interesting in that the first game was so special and such a surprise when it came out in Orange Box. You didn't know what to expect, and to recreate that feeling with Portal 2 is almost impossible since you're still using portals. Valve actually originally started the game with no portals and no GLaDOS, and it was their original idea of it, and it was going to be a prequel set back in the 1950s. So yeah, I think they really delivered. It's got a great story. It's got a lot of surprises in it. It's not the big sort of preview of Half-Life Episode 3 that some people were.
I'm starting to wonder if Portal is Episode 3 because there are loose ties between Portal.
Yeah, I mean
and
the fans.
the Half-Life universe.
Yeah, the fans want something there, but I think it's really well written. I think the paint mechanic really works, and it's such a different style of game that it makes you think. I had a lot of fun playing through it. The co-op's really cool as well. I mean, I don't think there's a ton of replayability in the co-op, but it's a lot of fun to go through that campaign.
There's not really a whole lot of replayability, period.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but it is, I think everyone was wondering, how long is the game? I mean, it's a full-scale game. I mean, you probably spent most of the weekend, going through both modes.
Yeah, playing that game like that by yourself with no help is a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. When I played it at Valve, I did have to call the hint line once or twice to get some
I
tips
didn't have
from the
that,
developers.
dude. There's a couple of points where I literally just wanted to smash my head against the wall.
Yeah, I know it's a tough game, but I mean it's Valve's always going to deliver great stuff, and after you play through it, I think what surprised me the most was the story was really cool. It was also just funny. It's like Eric Wolpaw.
Yeah, the writing's really really
and
good.
the guys there. You just don't there's not a lot of humor in games, and so it's got that different tone. The paint
And it's
mechanic
not just
is
humor.
cool.
It's not like beat you over the head humor. It's really smartly written, insightful humor.
Yep. No, I mean, the Wheatley character, played by Stephen Merchant, the voiceover that he does is fantastic. And yeah, it's a really well put together game. And, I'll fully admit when they first said, hey, we're going to do Portal 2, I was a little skeptical and like, what are you going to do to top the first one? But I think it's just as good, if not better, than Portal 1. And, the critic reviews, I think, have been through the roof. I think Metacritic is at like 95 or something like that right now.
It's actually the highest rated game of the year so far with the critics.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Not
what
with
about the fans?
Users, bizarrely enough, Metacritic's down at 7.4, but that was up.
It's better than 4 or whatever it
Well,
was.
yeah.
What's going on there? Is it like a smear campaign?
Well, it seems like in the last, we record this on the Wednesday, so in the last 24 hours, there's like a slew of 10s having come in from, the hardcore fans who are really sort of like pulling out. But there are a lot of people who are predominantly on the PC side who are criticizing it, and I haven't played it yet, so I'm just, saying what they have to say. First complaint is DLC. the fact that there is $80 of
Yeah, you
worth
see
of
that
DLC.
I think is like.
But it's all cosmetic.
It's
Yeah,
all,
it's
yeah,
crazy.
all
It's like you can put a
cosmetic and-
hat on, Atlas or Peabody, and sure that's $249, $299. But it's like to say that's DLC.
That's
I would
not
get the
downloadable
argument if
content.
you were, if they decided to put like 6 test chambers as DLC and you had to download them. But it's like $80 DLC. That's
And
such a
that's the
silly
thing, it's
argument when
only-
it's
I
like
seriously
cosmetic
thought
stuff.
that was a
Yeah.
joke at first because I know like Team Fortress 2 is known far and wide for its DLC, and I thought that when they announced that Portal 2 would have emotes on sale for $2, I thought that was just kind of like a jab
But
at
that's like
themselves. But
that's like someone saying like, oh, a game, Star Wars put up a lightsaber in the Avatar store for Xbox, and it's like that's DLC for the game. And it really has not much to do with the game.
And
so I
you,
think that's
and
a
you can
stupid
actually
argument.
buy all those emotes for in a package for $34.99. It's just $80 when
You don't
they
need
first
any
come
of
out.
that
was
stuff.
complaint number
It's
one.
not. They're not levels. If you want to put a hat on your freaking robot, you can be an idiot and spend $5.
That's what I mean. I think that's
don't really
insane. Like,
care.
I wouldn't
So
spend
people-
$5 for a hat, but clearly there are people who are probably
Right.
buying
Let
it.
them do it.
Hey,
People
there
are
you go.
saying
I don't
that
give a shit.
People are bitching that it's not in the game. Next up, they're complaining that it's way too short compared to the last game.
That's crazy, though.
That's
It's
it's at least the campaign's at least double.
Yeah, and then you have co-op.
The co-op is
Portal 1 was like 3 to 4 hours. I would say Portal 2 is, probably at least 8.
Oh yeah, at least
And then you add co-op, which again
it's
is
almost as long as the
long as
single
that.
player campaign.
Yeah, so I mean, if someone's saying that, they haven't played the game.
The other thing you got to remember, a lot of these reviews hit literally a couple of hours after the game went live. On
I think it's people that
Steam.
were
So I
pissed
think-
about the ARG, that they thought they were, playing all those games on Steam to release Portal early, and it ended up, the game only released, I think it was like around 9:30 on Monday night.
Yeah.
So I think that's just, people kind of spamming Metacritic. 'Cause, I mean, that is, it's a amazing game. I mean, for someone to rate that as like a 3 or 4 out of 10, I'd love to see what they rate the other shit that comes out all year. 'Cause
So-
it's-
everything else gets a 0, right?
yeah, I mean,
Next complaint, again, this is primarily PC gamers, and they are complaining that it seems that the visuals are dumbed down and the game seems to have been developed more with the consoles in mind than the PC.
well, that's an interesting point because correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there this screenshot floating around where someone was going through a corridor and it did an autosave screen and it says auto saving now, please do not turn off your console, and it was a screen cap from the PC version.
Who cares?
yeah.
A lot of games
I mean,
these
the
days are-
visuals. I mean, it
PC
definitely-
gamers care. Trust
No,
me.
I think visually the game I think looks great.
I mean, it looks. It's a clean game. Even on the PC, it's not like some crazy resolution is going to change the look of that game all that much. Everything is
It's
gray,
still
white,
source
and
engine.
black. It's like, get over it. What I love most about Portal 2 is when I played the first Portal, by the time I got to the end of it, I felt like it had run its course. To me, it ended at the perfect time. I was like, I'm kind of getting sick of this. Oh, it's over. Perfect. So my big concern was, okay, if they make the sequel twice as long, how are they going to sustain me and keep me engaged until the end of the game? And they did it. They did it. They did it with the plot. They broke it up. They kind of made parts of it that were more like traditional action-adventure games instead of the test chamber after
That's why I
test
love
chamber.
those moments where you're sort of becomes more like Prince of Persia, where you're sort of trying to figure out how to use portals to navigate the environment.
Yeah.
I think that was a real smart twist, moving away from just test chamber after test chamber. And I really like that twist where it wasn't about turrets, trying to track you down. It was just trying to, like, you see something, you're like, how the hell do I get up there?
It also broke up like the visual style because those test chambers, they all look the same. So they finally crack you open into these, and also gives you a sense of scale of how big aperture is, because you don't really realize when you're in these little rooms, the place is just ginormous. It's like the size of a planet, and some of these areas will break open, and you'll see like these crazy vistas. And I just felt like they did a good job of pacing the whole thing. You never stay in the test chambers so long that you get sick of them. Right around the time you start to be like, okay, now what? They'll jump you out of that and start putting you into the more action-adventure elements. Like, just very... I guess the one word I would use, and if we did a one-word review for this game, which we used to do, it would just be smart.
Yep.
I mean, playing the game, the people who make this game are way smarter than me. The design choices they made are smart. The way they pace the game is smart. You feel smart after you play it. You're like, man, I'm not an idiot. I figured
And
that
that's
out.
a different feeling than what
Yeah.
you feel with most games. Because
And
you
that's
go
why I
through,
haven't played it yet.
makes you feel good about yourself, Mark.
Oh,
But-
no?
But yeah, that's what I love about Valve too. I think it's like an